In theory, we might be live. I don't know if there's anybody here with us yet, but in theory, we might. Hey, look, we are live. All right. Well, nobody's joined yet, but I'm assuming this will be in the replay at some point. So welcome those that are watching. This is just the, I guess, kind of like after show. Really, it's just I wanted a chance to test my setup here and make sure everything was working now with the new internet and the new streaming rig. So we'll see if anybody joins in here and make sure. Yeah, cool. We're actually running. Doesn't look like it's stuttering like it was last time. Hey, we got a few people joining in. So, yeah, just a quick test of the kind of streaming setup out here at the warehouse. Kind of getting a feel of how this is working. Hey, Rope Man, welcome. There's usually about a 15-second delay. I assume that's going to be the same even with the better internet. And Connor, what's up, Connor? But if you guys saw my first stream, you know that we were missing this nice little thing to be able to show things off. So if we wanted to go through things like showing off BMSs or batteries, we can do that now. It's kind of nifty. So yeah, just figured I'd hang out for a little bit, answer any questions that are coming up, make sure that things are working as they should. You guys will have to let me know if there's anything wrong with the audio because I can't run that at the same time. Otherwise, you start getting feedback. But yeah, do you guys have any questions about the video if you had a chance to see it? If not, I was going to show off some of what I'm doing for the testing. I just have a battery that just got done charging actually. And so I was going to get it ready to throw on the big inverter for a load test and just kind of show where I'm getting some of the data from that I have in that video. The data is going to hopefully get a lot better here soon. I've got a few automated machines that should allow me to do discharge and charge test back to back and basically just set it and forget it, and it'll pump out numbers into an Excel sheet that I can then kind of dig through and find out what's good, what's bad, and if we're seeing degradation on any of these cells before we normally would. So that's what's running currently right over here in the warehouse, and I'll show that off here in just a second. For this test, the one on the video that just released, this was mostly just done by a DC shunt hooked up to a very large inverter that allows me to pull 100 amps continuous for the full hour that it takes to drain these batteries. And that's what is allowing me to kind of get that data. I was a little surprised that there wasn't a huge difference in the numbers, regardless if you drain these batteries real slowly or really quickly. I expected that the higher amps were going to cause a lot more heat buildup, and because of that, it was going to end up just roasting a ton of extra watts for no reason, but it didn't end up that way. So kind of neat to see that at least, and know that the testing does seem to be working. The discharge numbers that I'm getting are coming back as identical to the charge numbers that I'm getting off of my Victron unit when I then put these batteries back on to charge. So that tells me that I don't have a huge amount of loss there or anything that's causing those numbers to be skewed one way or the other. And then the new setup where everything's kind of automated should help to even that out even more and make sure that it's going to exact set points multiple times over and over again to really get some good data on these batteries and make sure that, again, we're getting good stuff and not reused cells, which who knows where these came from. But yeah, this is the pack from the Dunfume. I haven't put it back together since I took it apart because I was doing a lot of just searching and trying to figure out some more information on this BMS. Did find out that it's about a $7 Alibaba Express or AliExpress BMS. So again, with these kind of batteries, the battery is usually the most expensive part since they're using used cells and a relatively cheap BMS. That might not be the case in this one. So, well, I guess it would still be the cheapest part, but yeah, not by a lot. I think that I found some It's hard to tell if they're comparable or not because the pricing on Alibaba kind of goes crazy haywire until you actually get into a deal negotiation with somebody. But I did find similar cells to these for around $15 a piece. So you are talking 45 bucks for the cells, another, I'd give them on the high end, 10 bucks for the BMS here. And then you've got a couple of dollars worth of wiring and then some bus bars here, which frankly might have already been on these cells. Maybe they were cut off and they were sold to them like this, but I can't really say on that. But yeah, it seems like they've probably got about 50 to 60 bucks into these batteries and they're selling them. I got these for 100 bucks. They are going for a lot more now. Idrizizerly, again, I don't know how to pronounce that one. They actually pulled this battery from their store, so it's not available on Amazon anymore. Last I checked, it was still showing up on Dumbfume, but they were up to like 250 bucks, which is a crazy amount to pay for a battery that they said was a mini max battery, but really wasn't that much smaller than any of the other Group 24 batteries that I've received from various sponsors. So that kind of, I don't know where that was coming from, but yeah. I will say that this does seem to be much heavier as well, considering, again, you're lugging around 120 amp hours worth of battery. They are a little bit heavier than some of the other cells that I have, again, from like, right now I've got the Ocmo on test. I've got another one from Truvalux that will be taken apart here soon, hopefully. I need to get a couple more cycles on it and make sure everything's working well. That one has a Bluetooth BMS, so a little bit different than the other ones that we've taken a look at, and if I cut into it and screw it up, I want to make sure I've at least got some basic testing done first. But yeah, looks like got a few people. I'm going to go ahead and switch to handheld, see if this works like it's supposed to. Where's my OBS? There it is. Sorry, you guys get to look at my desk for a couple seconds and how badly I've marred it. But we will take this, and I'm going to cover it just so I don't dox myself with information throughout the warehouse. But yeah, showing off a little bit of the testing rig, and lighting's not the best over here, but these are some automated testers that I have set up, and these are going to be, once I get the proper USB cables for them, they require special serial cables that I didn't realize, but they're going to be running data directly into the framework sitting here, and it will keep track of the charge and discharge cycles and make us some nice pretty graphs to include in the testing data here. But yeah, I've got 3 batteries currently all charging. Nope, the Truvalux is fully charged, so we might throw this on the discharger here in a second because it's cold in the warehouse and I want some heat. And then these 2 are both charging at 5 amps, and they'll charge at that constant voltage of 14.6 until the batteries cut themselves off. And they're being run right now off of the Blue Eddy, which is being run off of the Delta, and yeah. But this is the high amperage testing rig, and I just realized I went vertical and I can't do that without changing it in YouTube, so sorry guys. But yeah, this is essentially some real heavy duty 2-aught pure copper wire, not using jumper cables for this. I know some people got mad at me for doing that on the other one just because the copper may not be the purest. This goes through a 300 amp shunt, so it allows me to see how much is actually being drained from the batteries. I've got a fuse here on the positive side as well as a Victron switch, so this allows me to secure it and then just get a main power flip without having to worry about sparking when I hook it up to the batteries directly. And then that goes into a Xantrex. This is a Freedom X 2000 inverter. It's 2000 watts. It can carry as a continuous load. It can go up to, I want to say 3,800. Not 100% sure on that. But this one has an all-important grounded, or rather bonded, neutral ground pair, so because of that I can run a car charger off of it and use my car as a load, which is awesome because I can pull 100 amps all day long with that and never have to worry about my load overheating or refusing to take any additional charge. That was an issue I ran into a lot when I was testing these first sets of batteries. Is I was using a inverter that was, it was rated for right at what I needed to pull, which was 1200 watts approximately. It was rated at 1200 watts and it just couldn't handle that. Be it the heat in the warehouse or what have you, I can make excuses for this company all day long. Honestly, I approached them, said, hey, I need an inverter that can do this all day long. And they said, sure, we'll send you this. And they kind of sent me their wimpiest inverter. And I understand. I'm not a big time YouTuber, so I've got to spend my own money if I want the nice stuff. And yeah, it wouldn't work. It would go about 5 minutes at 100 amps and then just die. It would overheat. So that wasn't really doing me much good. Went ahead and found a great deal on this inverter used, and I've put it through its paces and it seems to be holding up pretty well so far. So fingers crossed, that'll continue to be my high amp draw. It'd be cool to do like a big resistor bank like I know Will Prowse has. I tend to go back to him a lot because I've been watching him for years, and he's, again, kind of the big name in this field. But he's got like these giant resistor banks where he can flip switches and throw hundreds of amps at his batteries. And those are really cool and they're really expensive. Plus, in the middle of the summer when it's like 110 in here, I really don't want something that's creating a bunch of a resistive load, because that's going to get even hotter. And yeah, I sweat enough. It's not fun to watch. But hey, I've got Yodo Prules. I saw you in there. Awesome. Thanks for dropping by. Just figured, again, I'd show you guys a little bit here. What else do I have to go over? It seems like the streaming setup's working well. I got a dedicated router instead of using hotspot, so hopefully we're not getting the jittering. It doesn't look like it based on what I'm seeing here. And then my Christmas gift to myself was a stream switcher that allows me to flip back and forth between a couple of different cameras. So I know last time, again, we didn't really have that top view, which really stunk. And so now we do, and it's nice. So yeah. Other than that, I'm looking here at the Bouge RV charger. I still haven't done much with that. I need to, if you guys saw my post recently, cool, awesome, glad it's working good on your end, Yodo. If you saw my post recently with the kind of sketchy electronics, oh yeah, let me switch back. That is a power station that I'm in the middle of testing. I need to have a video out on it by the end of this week. And that's probably the last time I'm ever gonna agree to a timeline, because I don't think I gave myself enough time with this one, especially after seeing inside of it. But I did get it fully reassembled. It's working fine. So I'm going to do some additional tests. I think I have a way to do it now. The problem that I was running into is with many power stations, and I don't mean many, although the small ones generally have this problem too. A lot of cases, the AC side here, your grounding point is either going to be fake like it is on these rivers where there's not even an electrical component to the grounding, or it's just going to be connected to nothing on the inside of the machine. And that's because these are portable, they're not grounded. The problem though is that a lot of different types of high powered loads, like again, the car charger that I was trying to use, they require that you have the neutral and ground on your circuit bonded together, because that's how it is in a home, and that's kind of how they detect that they're getting the right kind of connection, I guess. So until you get into more high-end inverters, you generally don't see that grounded or that bonded pair. The EcoFlow Delta Max that I have here does have a bonded pair. That one works fine. The Rivers do not, and this particular unit did not. And I was trying to fix that on this unit because it had the electrical components on the inside, and you can make your own kind of sketchy bonded adapter here, which I'll go over more in the video when it comes out. But tried to plug it in, and still it was tripping my charger, and so I couldn't actually pull the 1800 watts that they claim it can sustain with anything that was reasonable. So that's why I started tearing it apart to see if there was anything I could do to wire that up properly, and found that it was, again, a little janky on the inside. Again, if you haven't seen that post, go look at it. I think I put 4 pictures up, and just wanted the community's opinion and make sure that I wasn't off base before I kind of blasted this company. I did send them an email along with the pictures and like, what the heck, guys? And they got back to me with, frankly, the most reasonable response I could expect. So again, I'll outline that. I don't have it right in front of me, and I don't want to misquote them, but I'll outline that in the video that should be coming out later this week. But yeah, I hope to get a little bit of testing done on that. Actually, tonight is the night that I'm going to be doing testing on that, and do some verification of a few things that I didn't see in that unit, and then see if it actually does come out as far as capacity. Thanks, Rope Man. So yeah, with that, guys, if there's any questions that you have on the content so far, happy to answer them. I will say that I never really thought that I was going to get into batteries. That wasn't something that I was passionate about, just being completely frank with you. I know a lot about them, or I know a little bit about them, and I've been building lithium power banks and cells and replacing my AA's with 18650s for years. But it wasn't something that I thought I was going to kind of get niched into. It seems like that's the way this channel is going, but there are still a lot of things that I'd like to explore. There are things that if I do explore them on this channel, we're just going to lose any momentum that we do have. So things like the framework teardowns, those didn't do great. And so because of that, I'm thinking about kind of splitting some of that stuff off, because I still have a lot of cool stuff that I want to do on the more technology focused side. So you may see that coming here soon as well, because again, repairing cameras and iPods versus batteries, not necessarily the same audience, but if you've got any interest, then I will be pushing some links over that way as well. Let's see. Yep, everything's still working. Sorry, I got a little red icon. I didn't know what it was. OBS is new to me. Yeah, other than that, this isn't a sponsored stream or anything, so I don't have anything to say as far as products to talk you guys or anything like that. I even turned off monetization because it's kind of dumb to me if they're going to just randomly put ads in there and then I can't actually talk to you guys as you put stuff in here. So yeah, that's that. If there's no other questions, yeah, it looks like we're losing people quickly because I'm just sitting here rambling. So we'll probably call it here. It was a successful stream as far as the technology working, and a good way to try it out at least. And hopefully you guys liked at least a little bit of a behind the scenes of the testing setup. I hope to have some results out on that soon for my members. It's only a few of you so far, but I am working on finding out how I can kind of work a system together to allow you guys access to that, and then of course give you something that's valuable. So with that, I think that's where we're going to call it. Thanks so much for showing up. Appreciate it for the 9 of you that are here still, and I will catch you on the next one. I need to go home and edit one of these 5 videos that I've shot and not edited. I really hate editing. Wish I could make a little more money with this so I could afford an editor. Yeah, this is the stuff that gets cut out of the other videos, by the way.